This is Billy. Billy is a young businessman who needs to start saving for retirement. He is unsure which plan to choose or how saving for retirement even works. Billy needs to learn the basics. Firstly, Billy has some questions about saving for retirement. One being, why save for retirement? Well, you have no major source of income when you're retired, and people like to do what they want once they're done working. Also, he asks, what does investing for retirement look like? Well, it looks like starting as soon as possible, managing your risk, and factoring in for inflation.
When should Billy start saving up for his retirement investments? He should really start saving up as soon as he starts making money, ideally in his early 20s. Not only does starting early give you more time to save up money, but the longer the money sits in your account, the more the money is worth in annual interest rates.
First, Billy must learn what are the basic types of retirement investments. There's the 401k and the solo 401k. A 401k works by an employer taking out money and putting it towards a retirement fund for an employee. Our solo 401k is very similar, except for it is for businesses with a single person or somebody who works with their spouse. An IRA and a Roth IRA are individual retirement plans, but with a Roth IRA, you pay taxes on the money going in your account, so when you withdraw, you don't have to pay again.
Now that Billy has learned why he needs to start a retirement plan and got an overview of one, he needs to learn more about the finer details such as investment rates. For Billy, there are really no exact low, median, or high interest rates for retirement investments, but you're looking around 6-7% to start out with. You need to have a smart, strategic plan to invest and make sure you invest a certain percent so that you can make a profit. A good way to do this is talk to someone who has experience in the field of investing, like an investment banker. Even though there are many types of retirement investments to invest in, Billy's normal one-year return rate with a monthly contribution of $100 using the 6-7% is around $12,000. They can get as even high or even higher than $76,000 for the 20-year return rate.
Now Billy wants to find the advantages and disadvantages for retirement investment. Savings in a tax-different retirement account. There's an infinite amount of investment opportunities, but for a retirement, he needs to choose an investment with retirement savings in mind, which are the tax-different retirement account. Since he is working for a company, he may apply or have a company sponsor retirement account such as a 401k plan. If he decides to be self-employed or run his own business, he can still contribute to a tax-different retirement account such as a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. The compound effect. The compound effect is basically the longer the earning period, the amount saved will be greater, which means that the longer he works, the more money he'll get. Then I'll be talking about the disadvantages. Companies changes their divided policies, which means that depending on the company's financial performance or changing conditions in the overall markets, Billy's policies can change and can affect his overall retirement investment plan. Then, purchasing power or inflation. Potential reduction of purchasing power is a sustainable risk to a long-term fixed income as provided through a long maturity bonds and preferred stocks.
Billy needs to know the risk. Billy has learned all the information he needs to start a retirement plan. However, before he opens one, he needs to consider the risk. Billy needs to consider the different types of risks. For starters, there's a longevity risk, which he needs to question, is his savings going to be enough? And he also needs to question if he's going to outlive them. To avoid that, he needs to make sure he has a large enough nest egg with a safe withdrawal. There's also something called the 4% rule that he can follow. He also needs to consider market risk, and he will question how stable will the stock market be. He can avoid this being a problem by having enough liquid cash to last him 3 to 5 months of living expenses. He also needs to make sure he has a defensible profile and investment strategy. He needs to consider health risk. where he'll question if you'll have any unexpected or costly health complications, and he can avoid this mainly through responsibility and taking preventative care. He also needs to consider policy risk. Is there a risk of his retirement benefits being cut, or will Social Security run out? He can avoid this problem by not investing all of his money, or not depending on all of his money being from Social Security, and making sure he has extra income.
After considering the risks, Billy believes he's ready to open a retirement account. His job offers a 401k account that comes with awesome benefits. To play it safe, Billy also decided to open his own savings account dedicated to retirement. Billy also wants to make sure to avoid the risk and keep up on health insurance and not rely on investments.
Billy's ready to start investing. The more you start investing into retirement now, the earlier you can retire.